hear about what's going on in the gas station?
What's that?
Sorry, but our gas pumps are dry. I'm waiting on the fuel truck to show up.
Estimated $700,000. A witness spotted a green Pinto with a damaged rear end fleeing the bank at approximately 6:20 a.m. this morning.
Did you hear about the bank robbery this morning?
Hell they doing over there?
It's the car.
Hang up.
Yeah, Francis, thanks very much for speaking to us.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm looking at your art in the back. Is that a Ash, like Alex Pardee painting in back you?
Yeah, man. Got Ash. That's one of two I've got here.
Cool.
So
I have, you can't see it because it's out of focus, but I have Alex Pardee's American Werewolf in London, the original back there.
All right.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Ooh,
nice.
I need to get myself a man cave as well. I feel left out here.
No, you got your stack of books, man. You're good. You're good.
Books, that'll do.
Yeah.
So listen, Francis, congratulations on the film. And like double, triple, quadruple congratulations because you did pretty much everything except the acting now in the film.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah,
that's great. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, that's sort of like how I started, with just, learning everything on YouTube and stuff and doing all the sound design and score. And so I did as much as I could.
Well, you won't be on the Call of Duty, I think. But listen, so the first thing I was reading the press notes, and it kind of said that the idea just kind of came to you one day. You were doing pretty much the same as one of the guys in the film was doing. He went to fill his gas tank up and went for a bite to eat, and kind of just felt like everyone was in a situation where you were the only person that didn't know what was going on. A bit like if you go to the bathroom after you've been with a group of friends, you go to the bathroom and you come back and you haven't got a clue what they're talking about.
100%.
Was that kind of the genesis, really? Now, yeah.
I think so. It's kind of hard to I spent a lot of time like touring and ending up at these like sort of hole in the wall rest stops and diners around the States and stuff. And yeah, I just remember that feeling very vividly. And I think that was the catalyst. But also it was really a big part of it was I was writing specifically to a location, and I ended up finding that location for Aces on the internet. And like, I'm always aiming to write period pieces. And this was like, oh, this is sort of already, you don't need to do anything. It's get some picture cars, some old cars parked out front. And it's like, it's a period piece, And so I found that location and then just crafted the script specifically for that location.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ashley?
Yeah.
I'd read that you like to write your character bios first, followed by the dialogue. And I was wondering, given the size of the cast involved in this picture, did this particular process that you have help to keep each character's voice entirely unique? Because I'm guessing that there's always a risk that maybe those lines get blurred between each characters if you do it the other way around.
Yeah, I think it's constantly evolving, right? It's you write these characters, you write bios, you have an idea of what these characters are, and then you cast, and then it starts to evolve into something completely different. And then you get on set, and then there's chemistry and setting and wardrobe, and then it becomes something different, and it's constantly evolving. Once I think there might have been a couple actors that were like, don't send me a bio. I don't want to read a bio. I just want to kind of do my own thing. And I totally respect that. And, but it was, I had the luxury of like, working with actors that really, really cared. And so I was able to like jump on Zooms or meet one-on-one and comb through the script, go through every line of dialogue, and anything that felt contrived or like, questionable, like I would just rewrite on the spot, and through that we got to talk a lot about motivation and who this character is and their background. So like by the time we showed up to set, everyone had a very, very good idea of who their character was, and it made everything go really smooth. But like I said, like even then things start to evolve, right? Like once I got like Nick Logan and Connor Pello in the same room, the deputy and the Bigfoot for President guy, it was like no holds bars. I was like, I just want to make a spinoff with these two characters. Like, they're like, one's in Atlanta, one's local, so they never got to like, do that any scenes together. But once it was happening on set, I was like, oh my God, they're incredible. Like, I wish I wrote more scenes with them. And even when you get into the edit, things start to change, right? You start to find like, you start to play with timing, and that changes chemistry. So it just, I feel like it's just constantly evolving.
At the same time, I mean, I don't know if it was just happenstance, but a lot of the cast, it felt to me almost like a horror fan's wet dream almost, the film, because there's so many appearances from people that worked with Ty West and people like that before.
Yeah.
Was that just happenstance, or were they all kind of, you got one on board and another one recommended someone else? How did all that play out?
No, I'm a huge horror fan. Huge
Right.
horror fan. So I've been a fan of all these people for a really long time. I mean, been a big fan of Jocelyn since House of the Devil.
Fantastic, yeah.
Sierra McCormick. I mean, it's not horror, but The Vast Night. I saw her in that movie and was like, she's incredible. And so yeah, it was just, it was really, I kind of had a running list of these indie darlings mainly from horror films that I really love, that I was dying to work with. So when it came time to casting, my casting director is also a big horror fan. So and he luckily had worked with some of these actors before, so I was able to write hers, and he was able to get them. But yeah, it was kind of just one of those things where I never imagined it would be this stacked of like people
Yeah.
that I love. I thought I would just get like Jocelyn, and that's it, and the rest was just gonna be like casting off self tapes. But it just kind of like one after another, I kind of just kept pushing my luck. And finally, I think like Barbara was the last person we casted. And I was like, okay, like it's just a fucking receptionist. Just look at these tapes. And I'm like, well, what if we tried Barbara Crampton? And it was just like, she'll never do this. And she did. And we got really, really lucky. And like I said, I kind of just kept pushing my luck.
Yeah, and I mean, but that really works in your favor, because having so many familiar faces really kind of, you just do not know in which direction the film is going to go and who's going to
Exactly.
survive, and
Yeah.
everything
Whose
just
movie is
works so
this?
much more in your favor. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thank you.
Speaking of one of the faces from the movie, one of the key characters is played by Jim Cummings,
Yeah.
and he's a knife salesman, and even the poster says, "Don't bring a knife salesman to a gunfight." So we were
Yeah.
wondering, yeah, what made you decide to send that specific person into this situation? I mean, um, I think Howard was wondering if you'd had an experience yourself with a knife salesman in the past, and maybe or somehow it came from your own experience one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things in this script that like when my family watches it, they're like, it's a little, they know,
Close to home now, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But like my parents, I feel like there's just always knife salesmen coming to our door. I don't know if that's like a Southern California thing, but like it was such a thing I remember. And like I remember growing up with Cutco knives. I don't know, are you familiar with Cutco? Um,
No.
there it's basically like a popular brand where these knife salesmen
Right.
just come to your door and they sell you overpriced knives. And it's funny. I had this weird thing that like my wife and I feel like growing up it was like, oh yeah, when you have like a real job, you get Cutco knives, which is totally bullshit, right? But I remember like when I got like my first like okay paying job, like my wife and I went to the fair and I bought
You brought a
Cutco
set
knives,
of,
and I
yeah.
felt like a real adult, Uh, but yeah, there's like and there's so many things like that in the script. I mean, like my mom makes rhubarb pie all the time, so it's like that's totally for my mom. Uh, but yeah, I think yeah, that, and I just remember those knife infomercials growing up too, and I thought they were so funny.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I can't tell you specifically why, but I know it's just like a combination of just like knife salesmen showing up at my door and those infomercials late at night.
Uh-huh.
Kind of
So
stuck
giving us
with me.
2 minutes heads up. So I just want to talk a little bit about the
Oh, wow.
score, which is so crucial as well to this film, because you kind of wanted to have like this 70s feeling. Talk me a little bit about
Yeah,
how you work kind of doing the film and the score at the same time. How do you
yeah.
process that?
So my background is music. I've been doing music my whole life. I went to college for music, so film is sort of a new endeavor, and I've scored all my short films. So I was gearing up to score this one myself, and then my son was born. So I was able to have like a handful of different composers demo
Right.
2 scenes from the movie. One being Jim and Jocelyn, the knife sales pitch, and then another one that sort of contains a spoiler. But and Matthew Compton, whose background is comedy, he did like MacGruber, Popstar, what am I forgetting? Palm Springs, and right away I was like, he gets the tone. You know, he knows where to let the comedy breathe, and he's a drummer too, and so am I.
Right.
So like we have this weird, like, I don't know, we speak the same language in
Yeah.
musical terms. So I just had a fucking incredible experience working with him, and hopefully he is down to do, you know, whatever I do next.
Brilliant one. Yeah, but talking about what are you doing next? I mean, obviously you're promoting this one now, but have you got another? Because this was your debut, directorial debut. So I imagine you've got the itch and you can't wait. I mean, from what you just said, I imagine you can't wait to dive into your next project, no?
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm writing that right now. It's sort of it's a franchise that I really love, and I'm able to continue it. So I'm working on that right now, and then a Western after that, hopefully.
Brilliant. Well, listen,
Yeah,
thanks so
yeah.
much for your time, friends. I wish you the best of luck with the film. I'm sure it's going to go down really,
Thank
really
you
well.
so
'Cause
much,
we loved
guys.
it.
Thank you.
And
It was great
I hope
talking
to
to you.
speak to you. Yeah, it's good to talk to you, and I hope to speak to you again about another one sometime soon.
Yeah, let's do it, guys.
All right, take care. Have a good day, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
See
All
ya.
the
Take
best.
care, my friend.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
then.
Well, you think you're so smart, you
I'm not the bad guy, okay?
Feel it already, darling.
well, you learn something new every day.
What's the plan now?
You may not always like it, but it just turns out that way. You learn